Bereshit, Genesis 14. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arok, king of Elakar, Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Et-Bera, king of Sidom, and with Et-Bersha, king of Amorah, Shinav, king of Admah, and Shem-Eber, king of Seviim, and the king of Bela, which is Soar. All these were joined together in the valley of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. 12 years they served at Kedorlaomer, and in the 13th year they rebelled. And in the 14th year came Kedorlaomer and the kings that were with him, and smote at the Rephaim in Ashtaroth, Karnaim, and at the Zuzim in Ham, and at the Emim in Sheveh Kiriathaim, and at the Chorim in their Mount Seir, unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. And they returned and came to Ain Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote at all the country of the Amalekim, and also at the Amorim that dwelt in Chatzsan Tamar. And there went out the king of Sidom, and the king of Amorah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Seviim, and the king of Bela. The same is Soar. And they joined battle with them in the valley of Siddim. With Kedorlaomer, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Ariok, king of Elakar, 4 kings with 5. And the valley of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sidom and Amorah fled and fell there. And they that remained fled to the mountain. And they took at all the goods of Sidom and Amorah, and at all their victuals, and went their way. And they took at Lot, Avram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sidom, and at his goods, and departed. And there came one that had escaped, and told Avram the Ivri, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Emory, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Ener, and these were confederate with Avram. And when Avram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed at his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Chovah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back at all the goods, and also brought again his brother at Lot, and his goods, and at the women also, and at the people. And the king of Sidom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Kedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him, at the valley of Sheva, which is the king's valley. And Melchizedek, king of Shalem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of El Elyon. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Avram of El Elyon, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be El Elyon, which has delivered your enemies into your hand. And he gave him tithes of all. And the king of Sodom said unto El Avram, Give me the persons and take the goods to yourself. And Avram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto HalleluYAH, El Elyon, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is yours, lest you should say, I have made at Avram rich, save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their portion.